What's going on, everybody? My name is Sonny Bales. I am the host of the Rising Legacies podcast. I made this podcast to tell stories of overcoming the odds, telling the stories that we don't think really matter, that could really help the people in our lives, in our community. We don't know the impact that we could have and really really allow those legacies to rise. So in this episode, I get the opportunity and the honor to interview Kyle Messier. Let's dive in and appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the other side. What's going on, everybody? This is Sonny Bales, the host of the Rising Legacies podcast. Got Kyle Messier here and had the opportunity real quick to meet him actually at my work. Been following his stuff for a little while, and told him I'd never done this before, never done a interview style like this. And he's like, me neither. So let's rock and roll.
Let's get it. For sure.
So Kyle, one thing, obviously you got the No Limit Fitness here, which is a badass part of this community now. And I know you weren't necessarily locally born, but you've embedded yourself into the community as, I think, a vital piece, man, as far as the health go and stuff like that.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Absolutely, dude. So where I wanted to start, instead of really getting into, what you've built here and where you're going just yet, a big thing is, I think kind of where we come from that leads us upon our journey. So as much as possible, if you would kind of take us back as far as you can, as far as you remember, and kind of like where everything started for you, whether that's fitness or even before that. Just take me down a little bit of your path.
Yeah, so I mean, like growing up, I was a troubled teen. I didn't really have any direction in my life. Started drinking at the age of 12. So beer was always in my life at the age of 12. I turned into an alcoholic. I never really had an outlet, so to speak. So at the age of like 24, I was like, man, I got to do something different. I was in Vermont at the time, and I was just looking around at everybody around me, and like they were just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And like, I don't know, I just like woke up and I was like, this is not how I want to live anymore. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, cool. I need to do something different. I don't know what it is. And I just fell in love with the gym, and I just went every day, started killing it, and just fell in love with the process of like just chasing the better version of myself. And now it's like an addiction almost. It's like I traded one addiction for another addiction. It's like just proving myself day in and day out. You know what I mean?
Right. Heck yeah. Okay, so I got some questions on that. So let's go back a little bit. So you said you started drinking at the age of 12?
Yeah, that was when I had my first beer, and then ever since it was just like in my life.
And is that like, was that like influenced just by friends and stuff around you? It just so happened to be, there, and that's kind of how you found that outlet?
Yeah, so it started with like older. I was never one to hang out with like people my age. I was always hanging out with people older than me. But then like, my dad, like he would drink with me and stuff. He's like, do it at the house, like. So I mean, I guess it was like a mixture. You know what I mean?
It seems harmless in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like, it's no big deal. It's just kind of makes you feel a little better and get you by. Do you feel like you noticed at any point at that age? Do you know kind of what you might have been coping against? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like, I didn't really have like, I was always an outcast. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really fit in. So I was just like numbing the pain of like just not knowing what direction I wanted to go in life. I never really went to school. Like I said, I was a troubled teen, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna drink and party, and I thought that was cooler than actually like studying and like going to school and like doing the normal like life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you at the time you felt like potentially there might have been in my mind a disconnect, like for you from other people, right? I mean, that's kind of the consideration of an outcast, what that would be.
Right, for sure.
So alcohol was kind of your drug to connect to, other people.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. Most definitely.
So, and that's hard to get around. I mean, especially year after year, if you continue to do that, obviously, there's going to be some choices that you may have some consequences from. But I guess kind of a question that I would have would be, you said one day you just kind of woke up. Um, what was, if you remember, if there was, the defining moment for you?
So the defining moment was really because I used to like push blame on others, right? I was in a relationship and I was like, all right, like it's your fault, it's not me, it's your fault, it's not me, it's your fault, right?
Right.
The defining moment was like me like really like self-reflecting of like, man, no, you're the problem, bro. Like it's you. It's always been you. Like you need to man up and like deal with your stuff, you know, just like.
And that just clicked one day?
Yeah, it was just like it was crazy. Like I really just like sat back and was just like, whoa. Like it all just hit me. And then I just started doing healthier things, chasing that healthier version of myself, because that's all I've done since I was 12 was like party and drink and do drugs and stuff. And it was like, all right, I'm gonna chase something healthy, which was the gym and fitness. And then, yeah, so I guess like defining moment, there wasn't really like a defining moment of like, whoa, this is my defining moment, but it was more of like just self-reflection, I guess.
Yeah, it was like your eyes started to widen a little bit. You're like, wait a second, this is a repeating pattern. This happens again and again. Maybe there's a different solution to this equation. Okay. So another question I have would be like, was there some specific influential person in your life that kind of pointed you in the direction of fitness? Or how did that, you're just like, man, I'm going to make healthier choices and there's a gym down the street. I'm gonna freaking walk down there and bust it out. Like, how did that come about? Why fitness?
So there wasn't really anybody that was like, I guess you could say like a role model within the fitness community. It was more of just like, I really just needed it. It was me versus me, day in and day out. You know, you versus yourself, and like which version of yourself is gonna win? The one that's gonna drink every day and do nothing but make like terrible decisions for yourself, or me like the one that's gonna chase that better version? So really, it was just like me like waking up one day. It was crazy, but it's just like how it started, you know. And then again, like one thing just led to another. Like I never would have thought I'd be in this position. You know what I mean? Like it's just always driving, always pushing forward, and chasing that better version of yourself.
So that's perfect, dude. So like in the beginning, obviously, when you made that decision, there's a certain like, you know, I don't want to say necessarily it's the old version of you barking at your back, but you know, so to speak, it's like you're there's this almost anger that fuels you when you turn it around on yourself. And I think that aggression does come out well in the gym, because I know from personal experience as well. But in the same sense, you know, you come from this place where maybe you don't have the best habits, and then you start out, you know, wanting to do fitness. I mean, as you know, especially doing this here, it's like fitness takes serious consistency, and it takes motivation. Not only motivation, it takes more discipline when you're not motivated. So in the beginning, if you remember, like what was it, you know, in those first weeks or months or year or whatever it may have been, that got you out of bed and that got you to the gym? You know, what were either the thoughts, the goals, or the steps that you took?
So the steps that I took, it was like, you might not be there today, but you will be better tomorrow. That was like what I was telling myself. And then also just like not wanting, I used to tell myself like, you know, you used to be a failure. Like that's all you've done your whole life. People viewed you as a failure. Like, so I'm going to show up and I'm going to prove that I'm not a failure. Like that's just what I kept telling myself day in and day out. Like it was just motivational quotes that I told myself, just getting up and going. Like my favorite quote of all time is, anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. Like,
I love that.
Yeah. And that was me for ever since the age of 12. I was just wasting time, right? Like doing absolutely nothing with my life and just drinking, partying. And then now I'm like, I can't waste time anymore. You know what I mean? I got to grind. I got to get somewhere. I got to do things. Like I'm chasing goals, you know?
Yeah, like suddenly you just wake up one day and you see the clock ticking and you're just like, holy crap, like that's not going to go forever.
No.
And like, I got to do something now.
Yeah,
I know one of my, buddy of mine, actually, he used to have this as part of his car club, but it was memento mori, remember that you were mortal.
Right. Oh, okay. That's
sick. One of those
things
that's just like always in the back of your mind. And I didn't have that too until I was like, man, probably 5 or 6 years ago. Really, kind of at the beginning of my journey was about 7 years ago, roughly. But so was it a struggle for you, like in the beginning, as far as like, did you go to work out in the morning?
Yeah. So, well, No, I worked out after work.
After work. So then you're tired from work as it is, probably.
I do that a lot. I do that. I'm like, how can I make this as hard as possible on myself as I can? What can I do to challenge myself more? Yeah, that's so after work, I go home, and then it started small, right? Like, it was not like I'm deadlifting like 300 pounds today, right? It was like I started small. Like 5 push-ups for me used to be a struggle, right? Like I would fall on my face sometimes. Like I do a plank walk, right? Like this is part of my training that I do a lot with my clients, is a plank walk. And that move in particular was not easy in the beginning. I would used to go, stride, boom, fall. Like it was just showing up and just keep showing up. But yeah, it was not, it doesn't happen overnight, right? Like you were saying earlier, like discipline, consistency. The days that you don't want to show up are the most important ones, right? Because that's you overcoming your old self, right? Like that's you saying, no, you're not going to win today. The new version's going to win today, and I'm going to show up and kill it.
Yeah. It's like you're shattering your old identity to build another one on top of that.
Right.
It seems like it's like that a lot in a lot of these stories. I mean, especially the ones that I want to garner and share with the community is the ones that are the underdog stories, where we have broken, we have fallen, yet it gives you the opportunity to rise again.
Right.
You know, based off of, you have a foundation now to build a new identity from complete scratch. What are you going to do with it?
Right.
Which is that's sick. Powerful, dude. I love that.
Absolutely. That's sick. That just gave me chills, actually. That's sick, because it's true. Right? Like it's true. Anybody can do anything. You just got to put your mind to it. Like I truly believe there is no limits on anything you can do in life. It's all you. Like it's you versus you.
No limit fitness, right?
Boom. Got to plug that real quick.
So as far as where you said, like where you started, and even this too, like for me, like getting on camera, doing these interviews and stuff like that, like I think I even told you, man, I was like, dude, I'm kind of nervous. You're like, I'm jazzed, I'm stoked, excited, you know, but it's like, there's something to be said about when you're shattering that identity and you're creating a new one, about allowing yourself almost to be the fool. It's like, you almost have to, it's a struggle, not just achieving said thing and staying consistent with it, but also letting your pride down enough to be like, I suck, and that's okay.
Yeah. Oh,
because
for sure.
When I suck, you know, I may not be good today, but I'll be better tomorrow. I'll be better tomorrow.
Exactly.
So it's 1%, you know, if you're stacking 1% every single day, you know,
eventually you're going to
be an empire.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes like hand in hand with fitness too, right? Like you're not going to do everything perfect in the beginning. Exactly. You know what I mean? And yeah, like if you guys saw me when I first started my fitness journey, like I did make a fool of myself, but it also like, it made me, if I didn't go in and just like make a fool of myself and not know what to do, or like just move in the gym like how I did, I wouldn't be able to relate to my clients that I have today.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I can really relate to my clients because I was there. It sucks. It's hard. It's not easy, but it's worth it. It's the most gratifying thing you could do for yourself. Is take care of yourself. So
but you know that on the other side, if you stay consistent, you embrace the suck, you get through it.
Yeah.
It's powerful, man, because even seeing you now, like right now in this conversation that we're having right now, and just the videos that I've watched, that was one thing you said too. You're like, man, it was kind of uncomfortable getting on camera. You know what I mean? Posting stuff for the business and whatnot. But like the more consistent you got with it, it's like, okay, the easier it becomes.
Yeah.
But coming from a place where like both you and I used coping mechanisms to interact with other people, you know, now you're a leader here in this fitness facility, you know, and also, you know, I would say in the community as you continue to go more widespread, which it's just showing the amount of confidence that builds when you stay consistent with your word. You know what I mean? When you're like, hey, I'm going to do that. I don't know when, but I'm going to do that. And I'm going to start right freaking now.
Right.
And then you just work towards that. And even if you aren't where you want to be, even if you're not, you know, at the pinnacle of your existence, so to speak, it's like, it just builds so much raw confidence for you to just be you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I couldn't have said it more better, right? Like for real. And it's very humbling. Like I wake up every day, you know, running a business isn't easy, but I like a challenge, right? Like that's just how I am. And but I do wake up every day and I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. I would have never thought I'd have like so many people that are like inspired by my story. And that's like what I've always been about, is just reaching one more person, right? Reaching one more person that can relate to my story, and maybe they'll change their life for the better. that's why I started this. That's why I started personal training, is because, trust me, I get it. Like, it's hard. It's not easy, you know? Yeah. But challenges are fun.
They are. Yeah. We thrive on challenges, I think. I mean, we need growth as human beings.
Yeah. And, like, I got a powerlifting comp coming up. Yeah. I'm nervous for that. Like, I've never been in a powerlifting comp, but, like, why not step out of your comfort zone? I think if people got comfortable with being uncomfortable, they would chase that version of themselves a lot better. Right. You know what I mean? Like, get comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's where you thrive the most, I feel like.
Yeah, I heard somebody say, if you do what's hard, your life will be easy. If you do what's easy, your life will be hard.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, I resonated with that a lot. I thought that was pretty powerful. Simple, but powerful.
Right.
So, a couple things real quick. I don't know how we're doing on time right now, but a couple things. So what would be, number one, some of the habits that you've now, obviously you're running this business and stuff as well, but you also have your own rituals, I'm sure. So like, what would be some of the habits that you've built in now, whether that's, mindset related, fitness related, health related, as far as eating or whatever, kind of just if you break it down.
So one thing that I did when I first started my fitness journey, and I still do this to this day, and people that are close with me hate it. So I told myself when I started, I was like, all right, you're not parking in the front of the grocery store anymore. You're parking in the farthest spot that you can park. And I still do that to this day. So like, small changes equal big gains, right? So like, that's something I would say, like, just start small and build off of that.
Right. It's like, take the stairs instead of the elevator.
Exactly. And then the other thing too, like mindset will win every time. And if you just tell yourself, like, no matter how you feel, or like, no matter like what stands in your way, I'm going to overcome that obstacle, like, you will win every time. It might not happen overnight. Nothing really does, but you will eventually like reach your goals. You will get to the point where you're like, wow, I did that, right? Like, I heard this amazing quote. It was, fitness is like a staircase, right? One step, you're going up every day, that staircase, and eventually you're going to be up the top of the staircase looking down at all the trials and tribulations you went through and be like, that was all me. I did that. Most gratifying thing ever.
Love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what about personal goals for you?
Personal goals.
What are you working towards now?
Powerlifting.
Yeah.
Powerlifting comp. Trying to, I don't know, like, I have my personal goals that I want to get to, like, weight-wise in the competition.
Sure.
I'm not going into, like, I mean, it'd be dope to win, but, like, I don't think I will, just because, like, I'm trying to be realistic about it, you know what I mean? But I'm already over the 1,000-pound club. I want to get to, like, 1,300. If I can get 1,300, I will be happy. Like, I will be stoked. But, like, that's my main goal right now is the powerlifting comp, training for that and just getting better at my lifts.
Yeah. What's your main lifts on that?
So my deadlift right now, raw, which is no straps, 495.
No straps.
No straps, 495.
My hands hurt thinking about that.
My bench is my weak point. It's 255 right now, clean, like, down and up.
That's one? Is it one?
Yeah, one press. And then my squat is, I would say, like, a clean squat is probably 345 right now.
Parallel, 345.
Yeah.
One rep max, same thing.
Yeah.
So that's your 3 lifts in a powerlifting.
Yep.
Nice. Right on, dude.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, that's, and going in, dude, the big thing is like removing all expectations, which you already said. You're like, I don't think I'll win, but I have no doubt in my mind that you're still giving it your all every single day.
Oh yeah, you got to.
You're pushing yourself every single day. So no matter what, you're going to go in there, you're going to give it 100%, regardless of the outcome. You're going to come out on top.
That's right, dude. That's how you got to live. That's how you got to do it, right? Like, you can't not put in the work. Like, for me, this is just for me. Like, you have to be willing to be selfish in some manners, like, by pushing yourself past the limits that you think are in place. Like, there's times where, like, in the beginning of my journey, people wanted me to, like, go out to the bars, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, or like, come out. Nope, I got goals I'm chasing. Like,
right.
You have to be a different type of breed in order to, like, really get to where you want to be. If it's something you truly want, and it's something you truly want to get to, like, you have to be willing to make sacrifices.
Absolutely.
Like, not eating pizza with your friends at midnight. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
those are sacrifices that you have to take. So
Yeah.
you got to be a different breed.
Yeah. Yeah. Sacrifices will be made no matter which path you take. You just got to figure out which ones are working or not, depending on where you want to go. And that's the tricky part, because a lot of the times our mind will try to convince us that, oh, this one time it's all right.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, I've been there. All right, man. That's pretty much the gist, I think, for this time being, man. Let's talk a little bit about this place real quick. So, number one, what do you guys offer, and what does that look like as far as a community? I know you posted a lot of videos and stuff like that, but just kind of if you could throw a little pitch on what you guys got going on here.
Yeah, so the reason why me and Kelsey opened this spot is to take the thinking out of it for everybody, because like that was another big thing in my fitness journey. Like I said in the beginning, I didn't know what to do. I walked into the gym and I was like, okay, cool, now what, right? I had to figure it out. So that's why me and her created this place, is to take the thinking out of it for everybody and like make you set up for success right when you walk through these doors. Like we have you. She's our group instructor. She teaches all the classes. I do personal training one-on-one. Our most expensive membership is $45 a month, and that's unlimited classes. Like it's $1.50 a day to invest in a better version of yourself, not having to think about anything, right? Like that was our main why. Like take the thinking out of it and set everybody up for success.
Yeah, and there's nutrition and stuff too.
Yeah, so I do nutrition classes held every Saturday. $15 get you set up for success on the outside of the gym too, to where you know what to do, right? Like take away the fad diets, right? Like understand nutrition and what it does within our body and why the whys of nutrition, right?
Yeah, because you're looking at different body types, you're looking at all sorts of different factors that actually play into nutrition when you really break it down. Okay. Yeah. Right on, man. And then let's just say if people want to find you or connect with you, what does that look like?
Yeah. So
my man. Other than right here, which you can shout the address. I mean, people probably know where it's at.
Pony Village Mall. Okay, it's not inside the Pony Village Mall. Which you made that mistake. It is external. We're right next to Banner Bank's drive-through. Literally, Banner Bank's drive-through. We're right here, right to the Safeway side, main entrance. Also, No Limit Fitness. You can just Google us. That'll pop up. In North, if you do No Limit Fitness, North Bend, we're right there. Social media, we got TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all over all the platforms.
Yeah. And if like, let's say somebody heard, your journey that didn't know anything about your story, if somebody wants to just kind of reach out to you and kind of connect and just have an ear, maybe have a friend to talk to, and, maybe get them on in here and kind of show them what that's all about.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, you can send messages through Facebook, No Limit Fitness. I'm all over the page. Kelsey's on the page. Like you'll be able to track me down for sure. It wouldn't be that hard for real. And yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I appreciate you doing this, bro. This is awesome.
Yeah. We were winging it on this time around. Really no scripting on this. So hopefully I think it was turn out, dude. I just like talking to you. A little bit of conversation that we got to have there in the beginning when we met, and then now actually getting to sit down and chat with you. I'm looking forward to doing it again. And once my shoulder heals, you best believe I'm being here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When's your surgery?
Like 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, recovery time.
So he doesn't know if it's a labral just fraying or an actual tear. So I could be out anywhere between 3 and 6 weeks. For recovery, and then you're looking at probably 6 weeks of PT, depending on how I can smash that.
Right.
Which, surprisingly enough, it's going to put me out for archery season, which I'm going to have some videos and stuff dropping soon about what I'm going to do about that. Because embrace all challenges.
Right. We're going to overcome that.
But Kyle.
Yes, dude.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank everybody for watching.
Yeah.
Be blessed, and remember, you are extraordinary. Let's go.
It's time to be the power, time to be the change. I'ma light the torch, I'ma carry the flame, and we can be the spark of a trail blazing. It starts right here, it starts right now. It starts with me from the inside out, 'cause we can be the spark of a trail blazing.